Hello, welcome to this very brief review on percents. In this review, we will change between percents and decimals and solve basic percent problems. Remember that percent means part of 100. So if someone has 32%, then they have 32 parts out of 100. Now, if we don't have 100 parts to deal with, then we'll talk about how that changes a little bit later, but that's the reminder. And because percent means part of 100, that makes converting between decimals and percents very easy. To change a percent to a decimal, we simply move the decimal 2 places to the left. In the case of 32%, if we wanted to change that to a decimal, our decimal begins right here, and we move it 2 places to the left, making 32% 0.32, or 32 hundredths. Likewise, 72% would be, we start our decimal here, move it 2 places to the left, we would get 0.72. Keeping in mind how easy it is to convert decimals to fractions, we could also see that percent can easily be turned into a fraction, also because it means part of 100. So 32% would be 32 over 100, and 72% would be 72 over 100. Of course, we want to reduce these, and 32 over 100 excuse me, reduces to 8 over 25, and 72 over 100 reduces to 18 over 25. Of course, if we wanted to go the other direction, we just reverse the process. To change a percent to a decimal, we move the decimal 2 places to the right. 0.47, or 47 hundredths, as a percent would be, we move our decimal 2 places to the right, 47%. 8 hundredths, or 0.08, would be, move our decimal 2 places to the left, will give us 8%. Solving percent problems is really quite easier than we think. If we keep in mind that percent means part of 100, we can apply what we know about proportions to solve any percent problem. And we can use this proportion to do so. I like to call this the universal percent proportion. It's percent over 100 equals part over the whole. The universal percent proportion. We'll refer to it as the UPP. Let's look at the universal percent proportion in action. Here's an example problem. What is 20% of 50? If we keep in mind our universal percent proportion is percent over 100, and that equals part over whole, we can solve this very easily. The great thing about the UPP is that the 100 never changes. You'll always have this 100 in every problem. The percent is always the easiest piece to find. The percent is quite simply whatever's in front of that percent sign. And then the whole is almost always behind the of. So if we take all these pieces and put it into our universal percent proportion, we have 20 over 100. Our whole is 50. And we don't know what the part is, so that is our x. It says watt. And now we have a simple proportion that we can solve using our cross products. So we have 1,000 20 times 50 equals 100x, and x is equal to 10. So 10 is 20% of 50. Here's another problem where we're looking for a different unknown. 42 is 15% of what number? Now in this case, we said the whole almost always comes after the of. You can see that we're looking for the whole. That would be our x, just after the of. And of course the 15% is always the easiest thing to find. So here's our universal percent proportion. Percent over 100 equals part over whole. So putting in our numbers, we have 15 over 100 equals 42 over x. We do our cross products. X times 15, 15x. 100 times 42 is 4,200. We divide both sides by 15, and x is equal to 280. So 42 is 15% of 280. Finally, here's an example where we're looking for the percent. As you can see, it says watt percent. That's clearly going to be our x. And 51 is behind our of, so that's going to be our whole. Using our universal percent proportion, percent over 100 equals part over whole, we get x over 100 equals 17 over 51. And when we do our cross products, we get 51x equals 1700. And so x is 33.3, and the 3 is repeating, so we know that that is 33.3 repeating percent, or 33 1/3 percent. 17 is 33 1/3 percent of 51. Here's one to try on your own. What is 65% of 80? Press pause, do this problem on your own, then hit play to hit the solution. Welcome back. Hope you got it right. Remember that we are going to use the universal percent proportion. 0 over 100 equals part over whole. The percent is always the easiest thing to find. It's got the percent sign right behind it. 65%. So 65 over 100. The whole is always after the of. So 80 is on the bottom. And that leaves the part, which we don't know. So we'll call that our x. When we do our cross products, 65 times 80 is 5,200. 100 times x is 100x. We divide both sides by 100, and x is equal to 52. So 52 is 65% of 80. Here's another one for you to try. 18 is 30% of what number? Hit pause, solve the problem, then come back. Well, hopefully you got the right answer. Let's see. Hope you use the universal percent proportion. Percent over 100 equals part over whole. Percent, always the easiest. 30 over 100. In this case, what number is behind the of? So that's our whole. So that's an x. We don't know. We say, what is it? And that leaves 18 for our part. When we do our cross product, 30x equals 1800. Divide both sides by 30, and x is equal to 60. So 18 is 30% of 60. Final problem for you to try. 84 is what percent of 105? Now that you've solved it, by now we all know we're using the UPP, the universal percent proportion. Percent over 100 equals part over whole. What percent? We don't know what the percent is, but that's okay. It means we'll just make it the x. 105 is after our of. That's the whole, and that leaves 84 to be our part. Now we're going to do our cross products. 105x equals 8400. We're going to divide both sides by 105, and we will get that x is equal to 80. So 84 is 80% of 105. I hope this review was helpful for you. If it was not, go back and watch it again and try those problems.